is a process by which one object acquires the properties of another object. Wherever there is classification problem or wherever there is an instance wherein you can have classification, like the one I gave earlier, a student belongs to department and department in turn belongs to college and college in turn belongs to university. So wherever there is an hierarchy possible, their inheritance can come into picture. Okay, let's take for example a students of your class. Ma'am, can I come up with an inheritance there? No, that problem does not suit the inheritance. Maybe the one which I said, there you can come up with inheritance. Another example may be vehicles, different types of vehicles. There also, like maybe one which is there in your textbook is vehicles. So vehicles as it is, then or transportation as it is, then maybe four-wheeler, two-wheeler, or I can say air, road, and water transport. And within road transport, I can say two-wheeler, four-wheeler, three-wheeler, like that. So wherever there is classification problem, their inheritance can come into picture. So now we have learned already what is a class. So when one and what is an object. So if one class or an object acquires the properties of the other, then we call it as inheritance. Why do I require this inheritance? Inheritance, there are two uses. One is the consistency of the data, the other is reusability of data. So when I say reusability of data, let's take for example another inheritance problem, parent-child relationship. Okay, now I say a child inherits the properties of a parent. When I say that there are certain data which is common among the parent and the child. So when I do that, what happens is, suppose, let's say for example, the mother tongue or nationality or something like that. The child inherits from the parent. That is common to both parent and child, and we need not have to redefine it in the child. When we do that, what happens is when the parent data changes, it is automatically reflected in the child data also. Try to get as much as possible. Later, I'll give you examples. You will get better understand this. So when I say that the child gets the data from the parent, both the parent and the child are sharing that data. So if there is a change in one place, it gets automatically reflected in the other places also. So by doing so, you can get the consistency or maintain the consistency of the data. Other thing is, I need not have to redefine the data everywhere. I can say I am getting the data from my parent. Okay, so these are the two uses of inheritance. Then the next point is, once again, next. The class from which I inherit the properties is known as the superclass, base class, or the parent class. So if the class from which I try to get the properties or inherit the properties is known as a superclass, base class, or the parent class. And the class or an object which inherits the properties from its parent is known as the child class or the subclass. So you have a superclass or a parent class or a base class. Then you have something known as subclass or a child class, which inherits the properties from the parent. So fine, this is how inheritance works. No matter what programming language you are using, object-oriented programming language, maybe it is C# or Java or anything, inheritance concept remains the same. Always, whenever inheritance, these things never change. It is one and the same. The thing that changes is how do I implement within my programming language. That is, in Java, how do I support inheritance? And in C Sharp, how do I support inheritance? So now we are dealing with Java. So in Java, inheritance is supported through the keyword extends. So there is the keyword extends which supports the concept of inheritance. And the general syntax is you have class and a class name. So class is a keyword here. Class name is a user defined name, any class which you are creating, normal class. So that is an identifier. Extends is a keyword, and superclass name is another class from which you are inheriting the properties. So class is the class name is an identifier, superclass name is an identifier. Class is a keyword and extends is a keyword. Ma'am, I did not understand anything. Fine, let's take an example. So, fine, all of you know how to define a class? Yes or no? Yeah, give me a reply. All of you know how to define a class? Okay, good. So let's take one class here. I have class and the name of the class is A. Fine. Nothing, I am not teaching anything inheritance here. Only thing I am teaching is I have a class by name A. Now tell me, what are the members of this class A? Just look at this class. This is the class, begins here. It begins here, fine, and it ends here. So what are the members of the class? I hope you all know what do you mean by members. Yes, it's a good. Three members, I, J, and show IJ. Yes, good. All of you, Shreya, Venkat, Sai, Prashant, Lokeshwar, all of you, good. Okay, fine. The data members are I and J. Yes, agreed. The data members are I and J, first, second, and the member function is show IJ. By default, all the members are public. So I is a data member, J is a data member, show is a member function, and within this function, I am doing is just printing the value of I and J. Is this a constructor, show IJ, or it is a normal member function? Last class, I taught you what is a constructor. Fine, Shreya says it is not a constructor. Yes, it is a normal member function and it is not a constructor. Shall I add a method to this? Okay, fine. Now, is it valid? I've added a method by name A. It is not taking anything. It is not doing anything. I hope now you can see. Yeah, good. Today it is fast actually. All the changes are getting reflected. So now what is this A member function? Parikshit, method and function are one and the same. Yes, sir. So A is a constructor here. I have defined it. I'm not doing anything. So now I hope all of you are familiar with what is a class, members of the class. Okay, let's go to another class here, B. So what are the members of this class? Data members are K, yes. Only K? Harsh? What are the member functions? Only show K? Yeah, some. See, if I ask members, it includes both data members and member functions. If I say only data members, it is K. Members, there are three members, K, show K, and sum. So I have three members here, K, show K, and sum. Now, let's say, let's think of a situation that B needs the members of class A. That is, it needs to inherit the members of class A. How do I do that? I have a class. I say class B extends A. It means that class B inherits the properties of A. Please understand what I'm trying to tell. Class B inherits the properties of A. So here A becomes the parent and B becomes the child. B takes the properties or inherits the properties of A. Ma'am, that I understood. Yes, A takes the properties of, B takes the properties of A. What does that actually or programmatically mean? Earlier, before the statement extends A, if that was not there, if this was not there, you said the members are K, show K, and sum. When I say class B extends A, it means now along with these three members, K, show K, and sum, B has the members of A. What are the members of A? That is I, J, and show ij. Did you understand? When I say B inherits the properties of A, it means that B takes all or shares all the members of A. That is, now the data members of B become I, J, show ij, K, show K, and sum. Now, class B has 6 members. Did you understand? Okay. Ma'am, what do I mean I can access? I can access in the sense, now I can say some statement here. Within the sum program, I can say K is equal to I plus J. Ma'am, I and J are not defined in class B. Will it give error? No. I and J, it inherits from class A. So K is equal to I and J will work perfectly correctly. K is a member of B, I and J are members of B, which it inherits from A. By doing so, when I say reusability means, see, if I had to define other two members here, okay, in order to add two numbers, I'm not defining it. I'm reusing the members which are defined in A. Do you understand? All of you? But this is not vice versa. What do I mean by vice versa? Ma'am, can I use or access the element K here? That is within A, can I access within here within my show Jij or A function, can I access K something like this? K is equal to or 20 or something like that? No, not possible. This is a wrong statement. Okay, your friend, till now are you all clear? Okay, your friend Shreya has a doubt. Ma'am, can I access private members? I and J are private in default. By default, members of a Java class are public. Here, class A, I, J, show I, J, all are public members. In C++, by default, they are private, whereas in Java, by default, they are public. Not audible? Okay. That's the main reason if I keep on changing my screen, what happens is if I keep on updating my, no audio, I think then it is from your end. Because some of you are saying yeah, I'm audible and some of you are saying, can you just, for those it is not audible. Yeah, someone put it in your class group. I don't think so. Yeah, if they're in public chat, they can see. Yeah, see, actually, in my connection, it is not a problem because for some it is audible. Maybe for you it is happening because if you're okay, Altaf says after reconnection you're audible. Yeah, that is you have to reconnect. Okay, so this is what I said. I hope am I clear with this inheritance? What do I mean by inheritance? Okay, thank you. Now accessing the members will be the same. Now OB of A is an object of type class A. OBB is an object of type class B. So when I use OBA object, I can access only the members IJ and show IJ. So using OB of A, OB of I, okay. Your friend is asking Shreya's question. See, by default, yeah, I stopped at that time. By default, the members of the class are public. So that's the reason I can access the members ing here. Imagine my I make it private. Okay. So now I make this as private. Now can you make out? I made the changes. I is a private member, J is a public member. What happens then? Now I'm trying to access I and J within my class B. Is it possible to access? Yes, it is possible to access because B is a subclass of A or a child of A. Now, what happens in class sum? In class sum, I'm sorry, method sum, I can access the public member. That is, this will work perfectly fine, but I will not be able to access the member I. Private members cannot be accessed even in the subclass. So this will be an error because I'm trying to access a private member I. Please understand, this will give me an error. Why? Because I'm trying to access the private member I. If I make both public, then I can access within my subclass. Ma'am, then if I make public, others can also access outside the class. I want only my subclass members to be accessed, not by any other class. Then I have another access specifier. All of you, did you understand now what is private and public? Did you get it? Yes or no? Yes. So in my class test also, I can access the member I'm sorry, J, public member. But I want my members to be accessed only within my subclass. What do I do? I have another access specifier known as protected. What happens when I make a member protected? Can you see my screen? I have used the term protected. When I make the data member as protected, I can access that data member within my subclass. So here I can be accessed. There is no error. No error. Why? Protected members can be accessed within the subclass, but not outside the class. See, again, I'll try to tell you. J is a public member. Okay, it can be accessed within class A. Yes, wait, Shirisha. J is a public member. It can be accessed within A, within B, as well as within test. Public members can be accessed